Ryan, you've always been pretty truthful, and now that the season's over, I hope you can open up about this. But Hudson, he's not well, but I think he gutted this thing out today. Just kind of tell us what he's been going through and what kind of guts it took to do what he did today.
Yeah, I mean he's got a rib injury on his left side. So any kind of twisting motion or any kind of pressure to it, it's painful. But he knew this was the last game, and as long as he could throw the ball, he wanted to play. So I think it was on Monday or Tuesday. He still wasn't looking right or wasn't feeling right. But he's like, "Coach, I'm playing," and so we planned accordingly. And like I've been saying all year, when he's been healthy, he's been playing well. And we had a stretch there where he wasn't feeling like himself, and we had some really, really good opponents, kind of all back to back. Coupled with the injuries and the musical chairs up front, it's hard to play like he is playing right now. Through that stretch and through those adverse moments. I can't tell you how proud I am of him, how excited I am for him next season. You see how he's played his last two games. And you see such a big jump from year one to year two, and let's be real, like this is year one for him. He hasn't started, he hasn't been the guy yet in college. This is his first year in this system, and so now that he's getting comfortable, we're gonna hit the recruiting trail tough and strategic, and go get some guys around him as well, coupled with the guys that we got coming back that have really stood out to us this year. Like I can't wait for what that offense looks like next season.
Was this game a sign of growth? If you think back to the Fresno game, it almost played out exactly the same, except you gave up the touchdown at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you say there's areas where there were signs of growth, right? I thought defensively there were signs of growth, offensively signs of growth. Special teams wise, I know we've struggled with the kicking game, and not necessarily the covered units or the return units, but just the kicking game all year. But we made mistakes, penalty-wise, that extended drives led to points. Obviously, gave up a touchdown. As a team to be able to overcome, really those. I mean, that was like 14 points. On special teams, to be able to overcome that as a team, that shows a lot of growth, and to still have faith in your kicker to go make field goals when we needed them. And he makes them. That shows signs of growth. To me, that is the definition of toughness. It's overcoming adverse moments with great attitude and effort, and they definitely did today. To be able to overcome a double-digit deficit in the fourth quarter, against a team that was chomping at the bit to put us away. I was really proud of them, and hopefully we can carry that momentum into next year.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask you a little bit about George Burnett. I mean, have you just been sort of waiting to highlight him at the right moment, and why was today the right day to show what this freshman can do, getting his first touchdown and going off the way he did?
Yeah, it wasn't like by design that he was highlighted. It was just what the defense, was doing, and obviously being down from a receiver perspective, with injuries. Garrett Miller goes down during the game. You get thin, and he was really playing tight end and wide out today. And so I think some of his targets was when he was split out, like a receiver, and then the ball found him, and you see just how long, how athletic he is, how fast he is to be a tight end. Like I'm really excited about his growth and his career here.
Hudson Card was agile and mobile. I mean, how much pain was he really in knowing the lateral movements that he was making? I mean, can you describe how difficult it was for him to be able to move the way that he was?
Yeah, it was painful, right? Like you saw, he's like I said, he's a tough kid. So if he's getting up and you can see body language that he's hurting, he's hurting. He don't like to be babied. You ask him if he's all right, he says I'm good, but it's hard to mask when you're in pain, and I'm sure he'll be sore tomorrow.
Hey, Ryan, just talk about first offensively that last drive, the 44-yard pass to Dion, and then the 10-yard Hudson run, but also maybe the play of the game, the Nick Scorton snuff out on that 4th and 1 there that basically sealed it for you.
Yeah, we ran like a stutter go on that first play. Just the way their DBs were playing were super aggressive, and you could just hear in the box G and the offensive staff noticing the way they were playing, and wanting to get some chuck yardage and some momentum to get down the field in a hurry. So Hudson made a great throw. Dion made a catch. I thought he could have stayed on his feet, but he had dropped that pass about 4 times in practice, so he wanted to make sure he secured it. And then Hudson just being Hudson, it was a great call. We had the Q draw with the stick call. They run a lot of their bracket coverage down there where they're they're playing like split safety and really doubling both inside guys. So when he saw that coverage, he knew we have hat for a hat in the middle on the Q draw. Mock made a great block. Offensive line made a seam, and Hudson found the end zone. Then on that 4th down, it's 4th and short, and their best player is their quarterback. So knew he was going to be involved in the decision-making process. So we shifted the line to try to get them to jump, and then called a play where you sort of ignite Nick, and Nick's done a great job of being able to take the dive, giving the quarterback a pull read, and then be able to retrace. He's just so agile, so athletic to be 280 pounds. So he made a great play. Similar play that he made. I can't remember what game that was, where the quarterback pulls it because he thinks he's free, and Nick's right there.
What are you going to do tonight, Ryan, to celebrate? You going to take the bucket home with you?
No, I'm going to let the guys celebrate with that. I got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of decisions to make roster-wise. I got a lot of evaluation to do from a recruiting standpoint, and I got a lot of fundraising to do. And so, this is just the beginning. I'm gonna put my head down, go to work. We'll take a little break, after signing day. But hopefully, this is the last time I'm sitting home at the holidays while I'm here as the head coach at Purdue.
Coach, talk a little bit about just the feeling of winning both trophy games this year. Obviously, the Purdue Cannon earlier this year, and then the Bucket today.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the goals we had as a team to start the season after we broke fall camp. Was to win the trophy games and keep them at home. And that was one of the few goals that we accomplished this year. Like I said, so you celebrate the last win, sending the seniors out on the right note, but from a program standpoint, we got a ways to go.
Ryan, this is just beginning for you, but for a senior class, obviously their last game. What was your message to them all week, and then what have they meant to the program?
Yeah, message to them was just appreciating how much that they've poured into this place, how much that they've embraced, like the culture change, the new staff and the new faces that were in the locker room, and they haven't complained, they haven't pointed fingers, they just put their head down and went to work. So be able to send them out, with a win against your rival, at home, and a trophy on the line. I knew the game was going to be close. All rivalry games usually are. I knew it was going to be emotional. They usually are. And so definitely was happy to get the win, to be on the positive side of that emotional swing.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks. Appreciate you guys.